I passed the prop firm challenge in one single day. And this is not the first time it happens. In December, I told you that my goal for 2026 was to get 1 million funded. And on the first trading day of the year, we get to pass an account, right? Because the 1st of January is a holiday. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I did it so you can do it as well. This was the trade that I took to pass the account. So one day, one trade, couple of hours, and that's all you need. You can see that the account was bought on the 28th and only traded on the 2nd of January. This comes to a point of being a sniper in the market. This is not going to work if you can't control yourself and trade every single day. Because I patiently await for a setup to appear, and I know with my strategy, there's a list 1 to 3 high-class setups every single week. So all I have to do is get a win and I'm immediately funded. Because the account I passed on Funding Pips was a 50k pro challenge, which is 6% on phase 1 and 6% on phase 2. That is why it's only a 3000 PNL instead of a 4000. So this goes over to my next point, which is understanding your metrics. How much are you willing to risk on a prop firm challenge to pass the account quickly? Right? You must be a sniper, but you also gotta be aggressive into the risk, because this trade was only a 3-hour trade, as you can see. So in order to make 6%, I had to risk 2% on a position. And if I'm risking 2% on a position, I know that my max drawdown is only 6%. So that gives me 3 slots, right? If things go bad, I may lose 3 consecutive times before I actually get to pass the challenge. And if we lose, then maybe we'll just go for a 4-hour, maybe a 5-hour, if the structure allows it. The same goes for Funded Next in this challenge right here, which I passed just last year with one single trade to pass phase 1 and one single trade to pass phase 2. This was possible because once the account is fresh, I'm risking 2% going for a 4R. That gives me 8%. And then on the verification phase, which I go a bit more conservative, I risked 1% and again went for a 4-hour trade, which allowed me to pass the challenge in one single trade on phase 1, one single trade on phase 2. Again, it's amazing, but it's only doable once you know how to trade and once your risk appetite is bigger into these prop firm challenges. You're gonna have to accept that you're gonna blow some in order to win some. But the ones you do end up passing are gonna vastly outweigh the losses from the blown accounts. So I'll just recommend you to go for multiple challenges, maybe multiple firms, and then trade them individually, so then you don't just copy trade them, and if you lose one, you lose all of them. You're a sniper, like I've mentioned, so whenever the A-class setup comes, you take it, and boom, you're funded on one account. If your win rate isn't the best, like mine, which hovers around 40%, we secure ourselves from having those bad scenarios, which I've mentioned, where you can lose all of it if you're trade copying them. Because 5 losses in a row, 6 losses in a row, that's totally possible if you only have a 40% win rate. So the way I do it is come over to prop firm match, compare multiple prop firm accounts, see the ones I like the best. In this example, Funding Pips, they have a 20% offer. I'm gonna take advantage of that, buy multiple accounts and try to pass them. If you look at my dashboard right here, we got the 50k on step 2, we got the one we just passed, and we got another one that's in break even that was also bought recently. If we see other good discounts on other good firms, then we may look to diversify our capital later on. So the way we did it was waiting for this internal efficiency to be touched, a sweep of Asia session, New York going higher, whilst London session was a bearish move. So now you know, if you're not new to the channel, that a confluence which I like very much is using the London close retracement. So as New York was bullish, London close will most likely be a bearish move, given that retracement of the day. So what I sent to my mentorship students on my private group was that we may see some possible GU shorts, although risky, because we have equal high just above. The rest is history, boys. Here you go, the MetaTrader screenshot and one of the students that took the exact same trade. But this level isn't easy to achieve alone. I've blew countless of accounts in the past. Right? And I was the type of guy that wasn't getting wins over a month span. So whenever I saw this move and I'm risking 2%, right? A couple of years ago, I would be looking to close it or maybe put myself break even too early just because I didn't want to lose. Also, the stop loss was quite big at 13 pips. And like I've mentioned, it was risky because we had this equal high just above. And so by the stop loss being a bit huge, I was also looking for a bit huge movement right at the blows of New York session. And I didn't know if we were going to get them, especially it was Friday and I had to possibly hold over the weekend. But you know what? With the amount of data that I have behind me, with the amount of wins that I've gathered in the past, I'm just able to stay confident within this move to just take my hands out of the markets, do nothing, and just let my trade play out. And what do you know? The trades where you don't necessarily expect them to win end up giving you winners, end up passing you accounts, and that's just by executing like a robot. But once we got this win right here, I did my math a bit wrong, and we only ended up getting $2,991, where the target is actually like 3. Now, once you go into challenge passes, it isn't as easy as saying my TP is here and it's $3,000, because then you gotta account for the commissions. So what I usually do is wait to be on a trade, and then once the commissions have gone out on my account, I'll then adjust my TP to where I can get the challenge pass. So then it ends up being $3,040, for example. If you know how much the platform is charging you per commission, you can make the calculations previous to the trade. So then, it's $5 per lot. So then I just had to play around with USD, small little scalp, just to give me over the $3,000 and immediately pass the account. I didn't even have to do the 0.01 lot methods, because as you guys can see, the minimum trading days on funding pips, or on this challenge specifically, is only 1 day. So the way you're gonna be able to pass accounts in one single day is, of course, step number 1 is having a profitable edge. You cannot do it if you're unprofitable. Second, you can actually do it if you're unprofitable in a bit, which is by using the rotation method. So you buy numerous accounts depending on your frequency. So you have that business mentality of money in, money out. If you go for a 3R like me, if your is 2%, then that gets you 6%. If you have a 4R, then maybe you can use 2% and pass a challenge that requires 8%. And obviously, only look to trade the A-class setups that the market gives you. If you're increasing your risk, then you're not going to be comfortable trading shitty setups. Come over to Platform Edge, see if there's any good discounts going on, examine the platform you're looking to trade with, and just take your shot. Just take the risk. Because even on this trade, I accepted the risk of trading it aggressive on a B-class setup, right? Because the stars will never be aligned. Be able to endure the risk. Not by being too fearful, not by putting yourself too much at risk, but coming right in the middle, becoming a profitable trader. I hope every single one of you watching gets funded this year, and I hope that removes an insane amount of limiting beliefs that you have, and you finally start to make money out of trading. If you've enjoyed this video, don't hesitate in giving a like, hype it up, comment on what you think, and I'll see you on the next one. Godspeed, brothers.